You can think of a watershed like a big upside-down umbrella. All of the water that falls on it in one area is going to drain to one central point, right down at the bottom.
These ecosystems, this island, our west coast here has some of the, if we're talking about watersheds, has some of the best water in the world, bar none. My grandpa came here in 1936 when the Comox Logging Company first came here and started the logging operations. They came down from Courtenay, so that everybody came from Courtenay for a year, set this up, and then my grandpa went back to Courtenay too, so I have an actual tie with Ladysmith as well. We just have so many possibilities here. We have so much nature that's just right outside our door that it just makes this a really popular place for a lot of people from Vancouver, and climate refugees from Halifax and other places are coming here to the west coast to our beautiful climate.
I think one of the things that I've noticed in Ladysmith is the trickling of issues. It's been a challenge just from some of the urban centers, and I've noticed that since I've been here, that trend seems to increase no matter the work that we're trying to do. We just see, families coming in every day that are asking about housing. I learned about this place called the Dog Patch, which is just in our Ladysmith Marina, and it's an area that also Sheila Malcolmson, our federal MP, talks about, where we talk about derelict ships and stuff. So we definitely have some derelict ships in there, but we also have abandoned boats in there that aren't, officially, marinaed or tied up and paying. They're places where folks who don't have housing are living. Whether we like it or not, that's a home that people have created. And so there's been a real conflict, right, to talk about, well, where would they go? It's that gentrification piece, right? Like, as we develop, we need to make space for everybody, and that includes, people who are living in poverty.
These ecosystems used to store it and filter it for us, and it just makes a really nice living environment around here, where we have those really, one of the key things of life that we need is this fresh water. It looks like the houses that were just recently built are putting all their drain pipes and gutters are being put down into the sewer, and again speeding that travel of water quickly out of the system. It doesn't stay in the soil, it's heading to the ocean as fast as we can, and it never used to do that. Like 100 years ago, there was these hillsides, these mountains were covered with basically 100% old growth forests, which are really good. They were super tall, 60 million needles intercepting rainfall and moisture and snowfall and thick moss mats on the ground. So in this 100 years then, we've actually changed the situation from 100% old growth to now less than 10%. So those are some of the challenges, and climate change is a huge challenge as well. So somehow we have to let these natural ecosystems do their jobs of storing water and slowing down water and making sure that water can be available throughout the year. The ability of our watersheds to, in both cases, to slow down that water is impacted by every tree and every watercourse and patches of trees together, and the cooling abilities of what those forests do. They cool down the planet, they provide shade. And so here in the north and other places too, Shawnigan and Coquille Island, it's going to be the same issues. We have clear cutting is driving the landscape change. We have climate change coming in. We have some similarities and some differences, but my hope is that we have much more in common with all these watersheds and these watershed groups than we have that are differences. We just need to identify them and start going forward and start collecting some data with that. My hope too is that we need to be also looking at wetlands, like these streams, these riparian buffers, wetlands and swamps that are storing water, filtering water, putting it down into the aquifers, that we need to also bring to the surface, or shine more light on some of these smaller things that maybe seem less significant but are probably even more important than the stuff we can see.